For Panthers Fans Only is a sports podcast intended for mature audiences and contains profanity as well as extremely spirited conversation. What you see and hear are the sole opinions and depictions of each individual, not at all inclusive of the entire cast or any guests associated with our show. Thanks for tuning in, and always remember to stand on business.
Shit sounded weak.
Did you have a good birthday?
Yeah. I mean, it was chill pretty much, but yeah, it was fun. Went out Friday.
Have some enthusiasm, bro.
Put
more excitement in your voice.
Nigga, don't tell me what to do, nigga. Went out Friday, Saturday, and just drank Sunday and watched the sorry-ass Panthers play. Well, actually, I didn't watch them play. I fell asleep. When we were up 7-0.
That was probably the best time for you to fall asleep.
Worst time for me to wake up. Woke up, we was down 28-7.
But some of those situations, never mind. Let me not even put that in the atmosphere.
That's on my neck, flawless big hits, hop off a jet, barely get rest.
We got music this week?
Yeah, I mean, I figured we shouldn't make our fans suffer, our supporters. They enjoy the music, so why make them suffer?
I thought we were celebrating Bryce's return.
No, you didn't.
With this school where they teach you finesse. 500 shoes for the drip I invest. I'm the boss man, I keep catching the dance. Go to cool fast.
Doug will be home in a couple of hours.
Now that I'm home, and I heard Tori is right behind him.
Tori is right behind him. Nah, for sure. Real music back, nigga. What's goody?
Smirk don't get out. I can care less about any of them niggas.
Fuck him. Should have got called lacking. Should have had his shit on point.
He already deleted his iCloud, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Federal nightmare.
You seen what Thug did? They get caught on the little state Rico case. Everybody in line. Everybody.
Man, them niggas was singing like a motherfucker talking about everybody.
Not during testimony, they weren't. Everybody was all on one accord. That's why they about to have this mistrial. That's why the state is even considering it.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I don't think any of Thug's boys was wearing a wire.
Yeah. Why you yelling, though? You don't got to yell.
I can't even tell that I'm yelling.
You was yelling. Just relax, buddy. Welcome to For Panthers Fans Only.
I was yelling.
Yes. Trust me. You know how loud my you were yelling.
With this school where they teach you finesse. Issues with a drip I invest. I'm the boss man, I keep catching the dance.
I know that y'all wanted, like, I know that it was a feel-good story that Bryce returned yesterday, or Sunday, excuse me. But I don't really know why people are saying, actually, we'll talk about it. Should he continue to start?
I mean, is Andy hurt?
We'll talk about it. We'll dive into it. Welcome to For Panthers Fans Only. I'm your host, JJ.
I'm your co-host, Terrence.
What was that?
I almost burped.
I thought he was tripping because he missed his cue. I was just like, I
didn't care that much.
Yeah, I didn't think so. That's why I was like, you just started getting it right just recently, so.
Well, I'm your producer, Tavian.
Cool. Welcome to For Panthers Fans Only. You just got a manicure?
Yeah.
You got any special gifts this weekend, or like?
Wow, that's how he wants to start. That's what we doing.
You know,
you can't do that because when you were, you know what I'm saying, when you were doing what you was doing.
He had a birthday. I just want to see if he had a good birthday. If he had any memorable gifts or anything like that. You know, anything.
Yeah, I got the gift of life from Guy, allowing me to open my eyes. That's the best gift that I received.
Well, they say on Family Feud. Good answer. Good answer.
Can you do me a huge favor? Can you point that light this way, like towards us? You can walk in front of it. It's okay. I'll fix it, or I won't. Let people see you. It's okay. Since you just choose to opt out of the lives, yeah, that's fine. I just needed him to have more light.
Sean, I got you, pimp. Don't worry about it.
If you don't already, make sure to follow us on social at For Panthers Fans Only on Instagram. You can find us there as well on TikTok. DSPs, For Panthers Fans Only. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for being here. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn the bell notification on. If you don't already, follow us on X at FPFO_podcast. That's where you'll stay up to date on all of our instant reactions to the game, as well as what we have going on as a podcast and just kind of as a conglomerate. Subscribe on YouTube at the G2S Network. We currently are in the midst of doing a ticket giveaway. You guys probably have about 24 to 36 hours remaining to enter that. It's not one of the very, very long ones that we typically do, where we run it for 2 or 3 weeks. It really just started on Friday, I believe. When did we do the live? Thursday night? Thursday night. We did the live on Thursday. It went live like at midnight on Friday, so it's only been a couple of days, but we wanted to do like a supporter appreciation type giveaway. So go enter that right now. You have to visit the Instagram or the X to be entered. If you don't follow the steps, the very, very simple steps, very, very simple. You don't even have to follow the social media for real, for real. The only thing you have to do is like the post, tag 3 friends, and tell us who you're going to take. 2 tickets to the New Orleans Saints game on November 3rd. Very, very simple entry. Like I said, just wanted to show some appreciation for the people that continue to rock out with us. So if you're not in tune to what's going on, you're not going to know about it. It's very, very simple.
You said how many friends they got to tag?
3. They have to tag 3 people and tell us who they're bringing.
So you want them to tag 3 people and then fight over those people on who they're going to bring?
That has nothing to do with me. That has nothing to do with me at all. Because a lot of the people that I've seen entered up to this point, they're not talking about bringing. I think I may have seen 1 or 2 people max saying that they were going to bring one of the people that they tagged. Everybody else is, significant others, children, etc. So I don't think it's going to be much of a fight. And really, just stand on business. That don't got nothing. What does that have to do with me? Why is that my business?
I'm just asking. It just seems a little counterproductive. That's all.
Oh, they don't have to enter. There's a small number of entries, too. So, if you go enter right now, your chances of winning are very, very high. They're a lot higher than a lot of the other giveaways we do.
Shit, I might enter.
That's up to you. You could have had my ticket, but I gave it to somebody else already. I gave it to Zoe on X.
I didn't want it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly why they didn't even consider you.
I didn't want it.
But how's everybody doing on the set? Everybody good? Tavian seems like he's just a tad bit agitated today. Are you okay?
Why do I seem that way?
I don't know. You just seem a little agitated. Are you okay?
I'm great. Tired.
Make it quick because the Yankees play soon. So
what? We could cut a segment in the when we review the game because ain't really shit to talk about there. So, I feel good, man. I'm just a little tired. Long weekend, a lot of drinking and stuff, and didn't really get much sleep. So
he's pathetic, bro.
Trying to keep up with Terrence, for his birthday.
Why is he pathetic?
I can't hang with the old man.
No, he just we wasn't the reason you couldn't hang. You was the reason your own self couldn't hang.
Understood.
So he drink a lot, bro. He approaching 30 and shit, getting
yuck.
old as hell.
No, niggas just under the influence of too many drugs.
Alcohol.
Whoa. Wow. Okay. We'll move on very, very quickly. Your weekend, I assume, was halfway decent until you had to wake up on Sunday morning, afternoon, and watch the Panthers play.
It was still decent because I got up Sunday, went to the bar. Went to breakfast, then went to the bar.
Who'd you go to breakfast with?
Me, Tavian, and Ty.
Nice.
Went to the bar.
Ty, what up?
Yep. He back in Georgia now. Went to the bar, Curry, Carter, Tavian. Got drunk there. Then came back here, and I was pretty much already faded by the time the game came on. And I got my bed, and I was like, well, whatever happens from this point happens. I seen us score a touchdown.
Oh, that's all there was to see.
Yeah.
I
woke back up, and we might have been in the 4th. I forgot. But, yeah.
Nice.
Did we score 14?
Yes.
So I think I seen the touchdown to Jalen Coker.
You saw the touchdown to XL.
Yeah, I seen.
Oh,
but I
seen.
when I woke up. Yeah.
Okay, got you. Understood. What did I do? Did some baseball on Saturday. Friday, I actually went and kicked it with Trey Friday. Watch game 1 of the World Series. Yes, the Yankees are struggling. Everybody keep your comments and concerns to yourself.
They look like bullshit, bro.
No, they don't. No, they don't. They really don't. They really don't. We lost a dogfight during game 1, a game we should have won. I think a couple of managerial issues happened during that game, causing us to lose.
Pulling Garrett Cole.
Pulling Garrett Cole as early as we did.
Dumb.
Deciding to go Nestor Cortez over Tim Hill. That was another huge mistake. What else? Deciding to walk Mookie Betts, who was hitless against Nestor Cortez.
And then what, pitch to Freddie?
To get to Freddie Freeman, only for us to miss our location. And on the first pitch, the game to be over. So, a dogfight. We went up. I think we were up a run heading into the bottom of the 10th, down to the last out, if I'm not mistaken. Typically the case, has been the case this playoffs, very, very tough. If you guys been tuned in and watching the World Series, y'all know what time it is, what's been going on. Game 2, I think I chose to remove that from my memory. We fight all the way back in the bottom of the 9th, load the bases up with 1 out, and Aaron Judge sells us. So,
the Dodgers.
He's weird. But yeah, I think it's been a very good series so far. I'll say that. It's been very competitive. Our offense was completely dead all the way up to the 9th inning, with the exception of the Juan Soto solo home run. Game 2.
Is Shohei playing tonight?
I mean, I don't know. What difference does that make?
Yeah, the big difference.
Not really. He has 1 hit just like Aaron Judge has this series. So, I mean, and they're both, to me, they're both as lethal. Simple as that. So if Shohei is struggling and Aaron Judge is struggling, it's canceling each other out. And right now, they've just had a couple more big hits than we have, and more ideal timing. That's it.
I feel like it's a very simplistic way to look at it. I feel like the threat of Shohei alone being in the lineup changes a lot.
I mean, the same not true for a slumping Aaron Judge.
No, it does. But you would not play the down You wouldn't downplay if Aaron Judge was out tonight, like you just tried to downplay Shohei being out or in the lineup.
I think it might be more beneficial if Aaron Judge was out.
You
with
don't
the way
believe
he's
that.
playing right now.
You're just talking.
Yeah,
now.
With the way that he's playing, with the way that he's hitting right now.
Let's go, bro.
Yeah, before
You're right. It's not a baseball
before we
podcast.
lose any more validity.
Yeah,
Right. It's not a baseball podcast.
That
but,
shit was just damn near.
It should have been considered, and they're going to hear this. The Yankees will have won last night. The series will be currently at 2-1, and we'll be,
I hope so for my money's sake.
We'll be preparing for an 8:08 first pitch of Game 4. I had the Yankees winning in 6 from the beginning, so cool. I didn't think that it was a missed opportunity Game 1. I'll say that, but I've had the Yankees in 6 from the very beginning, and it seems like I might be right on money. We come back home to the Bronx, we sweep, we go back to LA, and we end that shit. Game 6. It's very simple to me. Personally, it's very simple.
Well, I hope your Yankees think it's that simple as well.
I think
for
they
your
do.
sake.
I think they do. But then again,
I don't know if your mental health could handle a World Series loss on top of what's going on with the Panthers right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he might not have a choice but to handle it.
I have a choice. I have a choice. But yeah, Carolina Panthers lose. I don't even know what the final score was. Let's just go look at this real quick, man. We're just going to dive into the stat. This is going to be I have a couple of topics that we're going to touch on. We're going to do our juice, and then we're getting out of here. As y'all know, things are pre-recorded. Y'all see it on Tuesday at 9 a.m. We record on Monday nights. It's a huge, huge sports night. We're already behind schedule. So, yeah, just bear with us very, very quickly.
28-14. That ain't that bad.
Yeah, the scoreboard is very, very misleading. Let's just say it like that.
Career high in yards, too.
Who?
Bryce.
No, not career high. Not career high. Green Bay, he had like 3-something.
Runner up.
Never mind, because they're going to be on my top, so I'm going to just chill. 224 on 24 of 37. Completion percentage for Bryce Young, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Chuba Hubbard, 15 carries for 56 yards, 3.7 yards a carry, one rush for 7 yards for Miles Sanders. Jalen Coker led the team in receiving. We're going to have a brief conversation about him. 4 catches, 78 yards, and a touchdown. David Moore was the second leading receiver, 4 catches for 39. Miles Sanders had 7 catches for 38 yards, and XL had 4 for 34 and a touchdown. Defensively, Damani Richardson had 11 total tackles. Mike Jackson had 10 total tackles, and Josie Jewell had 10 total tackles. It's very alarming when your top 2 tacklers defensively are 2 guys in the secondary. That is a red alert. That is a red alert, especially when you're looking at double-digit tackles. That's a red alert to me. But, again, we'll dive into it. Time of possession, 26-33. Denver, 284 total yards. Denver passing 298-215. Denver rushing 102-69. Denver first downs 23-16. 8 penalties to 4. Carolina had 8, 2 turnovers apiece, 2 sacks apiece, 60 total plays to 73 offensively for advantage Denver. So, yeah, I mean, listen, I'll be completely honest with y'all. I had absolutely no expectations for the Carolina Panthers heading into Sunday's matchup against the Denver Broncos. I will say that it only being a 2-possession game was a bit of a surprise to me. This offense looked slightly better than I predicted, but to be quite frank, it was just a lot of the same things for me personally that I've seen with Bryce Young in the past. It really was. And, you know, the final stat line looks a lot sexier than what I saw personally. I saw a lot of people on X throughout the game saying that he's made improvements, he's done this and that. And this is what I'll say. The offensive line did not play as well on Sunday as well as they have in the past this season. But to be quite frank, it was still a lot of the same things, a lot of the same missed passes. His receivers really didn't give him much help because there were a couple of passes that he didn't make that were big-time throws that just simply came up short, and we didn't make a play as playmakers in the wide receiver room. So, you know, like I said, the stat line makes it look a lot more sexy. A lot of those yards were ran up during garbage time. And then defensively, we let Bo Nix look like fucking Joe Montana. So, a lot of the same issues, a lot of the same problems. This team is completely shot. We've said it on multiple occasions. I personally don't know where the Carolina Panthers go from here. Dave Canales said on Monday afternoon, we don't know who will be starting, but we'll have a conversation about it here within the next couple of minutes on who we think should be starting. But other than that, yeah, just very, very unimpressive, very, very uninspired football. The team looks completely dejected. I'm sure a lot of y'all saw the video that Vashti and Sheena put out when the team returned back to the locker room after the game. I mean, just an embarrassing, sad scene. You know, then we got coaches in the league that don't respect us. They want to run the score up on pussy shit. Sean Payton is a bitch. But I digress. I see a lot of people taking the approach that JC wanted to do all that barking after the game. If you wanted them to stop running the score up, you should have stopped them. I respect that. I understand it. We'll dive into it. That does not negate the fact that I feel like Sean Payton is a bitch. Simple as that. There's no respect. And if you're going to abide by certain rules, you're going to abide by unspoken rules, you're going to abide by them all. And the fact that he did that on Sunday, I respect JC for what he did, though I understand the perspective that if you wanted to do all that chatting, you should have stopped somebody. But that's not to negate the fact, again, that I would have probably, me personally, probably would have tried to put my hands on him. That's just me. Took the suspension, took whatever came from it, especially if I'm a star like JC. I might would have pressed him in his face, and I might would have popped him in his mouth like Big Boy did to Josh Norman. But that's what I have. Kind of wrapping all of that up, and we'll dive into some other things, but I'll pass it over to you.
I mean, just a very nasty football game. Like, we're just such a bad team. I had no expectations going into this. Pretty much knew we were going to lose. I mean, that's sad to say, but, I mean, what do you expect at this point in the season, given the way the Carolina Panthers have played thus far? The only thing I guess I was really looking forward to was to see if Bryce was going to have any improvement. That was kind of like the bright spot of the game for him to show a little bit of what he may have left, like give us some kind of glimmer of hope. I didn't leave out of the game feeling that way. So, I mean, the nigga has 37 points already.
37, 7, and 6.
Gosh, bro.
My apologies. I didn't mean to interrupt your soliloquy, but continue. I just had to show you that at half.
That shit is so embarrassing. All right, bro. I don't even know where I was at. The Carolina Panthers suck. I mean, they're just a terrible football team. Like, there's no other way to put it. I don't think Bryce did enough in my mind for him to, like, remain the starter or anything like that. I don't know what I seen good out of this football team. I mean, I like the way Sha Tuttle played. He had 2 fumble recoveries. He had a fumble on the first possession of the game. Like, everything was looking promising within the first couple possessions of the game. They start off on offense first. We go down there, get a turnover, and then we scored on our first possession, right? Yes. And Bryce made a good pass to X. Moved the ball down the field well. And
Great throw.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I thought he had done really good in that particular moment. To me, that was something that I don't know if I really seen last year. Just him being able to thread the needle like that and not be scared to make that pass. So that was something that was impressive. But other than that, the shit fell apart right after that. So, I mean, I don't really have much to say, honestly.
All right. I mean, cool. Did Bryce show improvement to you?
I mean,
I think that's a very, very important question. And I guess that's where, we'll just jump right into that. Because I have 3 topics here. And that's one of them. The question that I would present is, did Bryce do enough to continue to start? And I'll tie that into, how did you feel about his performance? Did he make any significant amount of growth in your opinion, et cetera?
I don't think it was a significant amount of growth, but like I said, I think there was passes that he made that looked better than they did last year. There was also a lot of passes that he missed that looked the same as last year. And I do give him a little bit of bail, but not really, being at the fact that he didn't really have all of his starting receivers, and the offensive line didn't look as good as they've looked in the past. So it kind of makes you wonder, I don't know if you feel this way, do you think that it would be anything different if the offensive line played like they did starting, let's say, game 3? Like, if they played like they did and he had Diontae Johnson and Thielen, like, do you think that would have made a difference in how he played? But outside of that, I mean, there was plays here and there, and I don't know if that, like, makes me think that he done enough that he should be starting for the remainder of the season. But I also have in the back of my mind is, like, what does it hurt? Because, I mean, Andy Dalton is going to come back in, and it's going to be the same exact thing. So it's like, if you want to try to salvage anything that Bryce has left, if you want to see any kind of potential that he could have, like, playing him these next couple of games wouldn't necessarily hurt anything. I mean, we only won 1 fucking game all season. So it's like, what could it really hurt? It could only do nothing but, maybe give you a sense of direction going into the offseason.
Yeah, I think I totally agree. My main purpose and point for pushing for Andy Dalton to start when he was starting was simply based on the fact that I felt as though offensively we had the pieces to potentially contend for a playoff spot. At this point, sitting at 1-7, that is completely shot and completely out the window. You're definitely not going to rattle off 10 wins in a row or 9 wins in a row with the schedule that we have in front of us. And really just from the talent or lack thereof on this roster, it just simply would not happen. So in regards to Bryce and his performance on Sunday, I mean, it was just really, really mediocre, bro. And that's a lot of what I see as it pertains to Bryce Young. Is a lot of mediocre play, a lot of mediocre passes. I do see some outstanding passes at times, but he also reverts back to, we're antsy as hell in the pocket for no reason. It's one of the things that I saw on Sunday where he did a better job, I will say, at standing in the pocket, standing 10 toes, taking some hits that, he may have tried to escape from earlier in the year. But in that same breath, It just really was nothing extravagant. It wasn't anything outstanding. It's not like I'm going to say, yeah, he should be starting because he did such a great job. I'm not saying that by any stretch of the imagination. I would just second what you said and say that I believe he should be starting just because I don't know what it hurts the Carolina Panthers for him to be starting.
Yeah.
It really only helps. It only helps the situation because maybe we'll start to see some progression and some more comfortability as it pertains to Bryce Young and just how he approaches the game or whatever the case may be. But I would agree with what you're saying in the fact that it's more beneficial than it isn't for him to continue starting so you can at least know. Like, and I think right now we're kind of in limbo. There have been some conversations about potentially trading Bryce Young. I don't think that that's going to happen. I think that does a lot more harm than good just because I know that what you receive in return for Bryce Young is not even remotely close to what you had to give up for him. And I would be okay with a second or third for Bryce Young moving on from him, but you're not going to get that. You're not going to get that. You would be looking at anywhere between a 5th through 7th pick, in my opinion. And that reward just isn't worth giving up a guy you drafted number 1 overall. So, I mean, all of that being said, I think at this point the Carolina Panthers are back to a position where they do have to continue to start Bryce Young.
Yeah.
I do.
And, I mean, the reason that I guess, like, everyone was championing for Andy to start is because, one, the Vegas game, obviously, but in the grand scheme of things, it made the games more bearable to watch because they looked a little bit more competitive. But, shit, over the last couple of games, them shits has been hard to watch, even with Andy in the game.
Yep.
He's done some dumbass shit thus far, so it's just like, I mean, if I'm going to have a vet in there that's fucking up, I mean, I might as well have the guy I gave up heaven and earth to get and, let him fuck it up. At least see what I can get out of him. So, I mean, yeah, I think that it doesn't hurt anything to start Bryce. I mean, you have no shot at the playoffs. At this point, this is all about, I mean, it's so early in the season, but, I mean, at this point, it's all about improvement for next year, kind of like evaluating who we're going to keep, who we're going to move on from. Like, I think those are conversations that should start happening now.
Yeah.
Kind of thinking about what this team is going to look like next year, what kind of things you want to go build upon in the draft, what you want the identity of your team to become next year, because, I mean, you're not really fighting for anything at this point. So,
yeah. I mean, I don't think that I have anything else to add really on that topic. I really don't. Do you have anything to say, or do you want me to just turn your mic off for today?
I mean, I don't really know what you want me to add. You know where I stand. I feel like Bryce, at this point, should be the starter just because there's not, like, you're not making a run for the playoffs. If Andy Dalton really, truly looked head and shoulders above Bryce, then that would be one thing. But Andy Dalton is who he has been for the pretty much duration of his career. It's a very middle-of-the-road type of quarterback who has some good moments, but overall just probably better suited for a backup role.
Yeah.
And Bryce is the guy that's got all the money invested into him, all the draft capital. The reason that you fired the coach last year was because Bryce was underperforming. I feel like it's like 70% of the reason you fired Frank Wright is because Bryce was underperforming. And so
not only was he underperforming, but he was a guy that Frank Reich, I don't believed in him.
Yeah. So you might as well. I mean, it does no harm throwing him back in the lineup at this point. The season's pretty much again, it's exactly what we called for. Well, what I called for in the offseason. This is a season where you want to see progress. It's not a season where you're going to see anything tangible.
Yep. Well, I mean, that's kind of where we're forced to be as Carolina Panthers fans.
And just to kind of touch on it real quick before we get off the topic of Bryce, it's like Bryce has those moments, like you can see it in the games. Like there's moments, like when I was off air, I had called JJ earlier, and I had a conversation with him as it pertained to Dallas. We were watching the game last night. You saw one possession where everything clicked and everything looked really good for the Cowboys. You see the same type of thing with Bryce. Like you see moments where everything clicks and everything just looks really good. But he has trouble holding on to it and finding consistency. And the best way to do that, in my opinion, is at this point to play him.
Yeah, he just can't string it together, like, for whatever reason. He can't go back out there and duplicate what he did the previous drive.
Right, and you got to let him put it together.
And I'm not suggesting at all that this is the time to do so. But I'm going to ask y'all a question. At what point does that shit just get tired? And it's just like, okay, well, I mean, you have the ability to do it, but you don't have the ability to replicate it, so we have to move on. At what point does that happen? Does that happen after year 2.5? Does that happen after year 4? Like we've seen with the New York Giants and Daniel Jones, for example. Like, when does that happen?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily be mad if it happened, like, after this year, but at the same time, you have to go in it thinking, like, okay, what am I going to get for the guy? Like, if it's like I'm not really going to get anything for him, then, I mean, I would rather just keep him on a roster to see what he can do. Like, if there can be improvement. Like, I know it can get tiring, but it's like I just feel like it would be better. You would get more out of it by keeping him there instead of getting like a 6th or 7th round for him. Because the guy did go number 1 overall. So it's like, obviously there was some potential there. There was something that people seen that he's obviously not doing at this moment, but it's like it doesn't hurt to keep him because you don't really have any other options. It's not like him being there is hurting anything that you have going on in the future. You're still going to be in the position, I believe, to get a top-tier quarterback next year. I mean, not like – because I don't want us to draft a quarterback.
Not 2025, but 26.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so I don't think holding Bryce on the roster is going to do anything to that because I believe the way he's playing now, if you put him in there next year, I mean, the same shit will happen. So I don't think there's really no hurt in that.
Yeah, I feel like I feel the same way. I feel like you're halfway there. To answer your question specifically, I feel like you're halfway there with Bryce. If he goes back out there for the duration of this season, hypothetically, and he becomes the starter and starts the duration of this season, looks horrible, and then goes through training camp again next year, you decide to start him again because he wins the job in camp, looks really good, and then looks horrible again next year, that's when you have that conversation of like, okay, it's time to move on from Bryce Young. But because of where you're at with how much you gave up for him, the position that the organization is in, it's not in a win now. It's not in win now mode anyway. And you still have him completely wrapped up under that rookie contract. There's no reason to make a rash decision like moving on from him, at the end of this season especially.
Yeah.
Let me give y'all some names just heading into just thinking about the offseason. And, I mean, it's absolutely disgusting that we have to do this. It really, really is. It's disgusting, and I hate that we have to do it, but we wouldn't be being responsible if we didn't do it. So we're going to do it. Just say yes or no, immediately. Minimal thought. Heading into 2025, we bring in a guy, a free agent that is to bridge the gap between 2025 and 2026 and getting us – we are either taking the approach that we're going to be competitive in 2025 or we're just bridging and we're trying to get to that first-round pick in 2026 and getting our quarterback then. So, yes or no, would you prefer this guy? Yeah, I think it is. I think it
Without
is.
context.
No, it's not. It's context. Would you prefer this guy to start over Bryce heading into 2025?
Well, you got to give us the scenario. Are we going to be competitive or are we bridging the gap to the next quarterback? Because if we're bridging the gap to the next quarterback, you might as well leave Bryce in if your objective is to get the worst draft pick, and Bryce is truly that bad.
Yeah.
You want the best draft pick. But if you want to be competitive, then we have to go away from Bryce.
Well, I don't think that this roster is talented enough to compete, especially with the report, which we'll touch on in a second, but a report coming out Monday that it's damn near a guarantee that Diontae Johnson is gone by next week. Like this roster, XL and Jalen Coker it's phenomenal and it's a feel good story, But I don't think that you're gonna have to do a lot more. So just give me yes or no. Starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers 2025. However you want to look at it. Because if you want to push all your chips in the middle of the table and say we need to go get Arch, then cool. Fine. I'm fine with that. I know that's kind of your approach and your stance, but I would completely different conversation. I would challenge that and say I don't even know if he would be willing to come to Carolina.
I don't like how you hijacked my bandwagon either. Somehow Terrence became the face of the Arch bandwagon.
Oh,
nigga
I mean, that's
jealous.
huh?
The nigga jealous or something?
Yeah. I
I don't know. That's the only person I ain't really heard you talk about Arch like that.
I'm the one who started the motherfucker. Woo. Go ahead. Give me
I'm not saying that you
Give me
didn't.
my-
I didn't know. He's
just
not
give me my
denying it.
quarterbacks. Just give me my quarterbacks, man.
Sam Darnold. I don't think he leaves Minnesota, but Sam Darnold.
I don't know if I want the nigga back in Carolina, but like, that's such a dumbass name. But I guess
Okay, Zach Wilson,
no,
Trey Lance,
no.
Jacoby.
Who? Brissett?
Yeah.
No.
Marcus Mariota,
Nope.
No.
Mac Jones.
No.
Yes.
Stop.
No.
That would end it. That for me personally, if y'all want to see my Carolina Panthers fandom come to an end, let the Carolina Panthers decide to sign Mac Jones to a contract and him be the starting quarterback for the Panthers. I will be done. That'll be the end.
O-E.
Yeah.
Bring them.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. There's only for me personally, there's only 2 names on this, but I want to hear what you guys say. Justin Fields.
Yes.
I like that. Okay, cool. And Jameis Winston.
Yes. I fought with James.
I do too. So those are the 2 names those are the only 2 names that I would consider. If the Carolina Panthers feel as though this draft they get more talented, they add younger pieces that are going to be able to produce immediately, and they do what they need to do in the offseason from a free agency standpoint, and they feel like the roster is ready to compete and ready to go 2025, compete for a playoff spot, then those 2 names, Jameis Winston or Justin Fields, give you your best shot.
That shit won't be ready, bro.
I don't think it will. I mean, I don't think so either. I don't believe it will be. But those are the only 2 names, really, if we look at the current situation. And Andy Dalton is on that list as well. But, I just don't.
No.
Andy gave us a phenomenal memory. Andy Dalton gave me one of the best memories of my life as it pertains to Carolina Panthers football for 1 week. Approximately 3 hours and 15 minutes, maybe a little bit longer because we were in the club for, you know what I'm saying? We were in the club for a second. But other than that, this nigga hasn't done anything. It was a great feel-good story. It was phenomenal, but that has come to an end. Jameis Winston and Justin Fields are the only 2.
What was the
That's
other name
nasty.
we said? Sam?
Sam was the net, yeah. And
Yeah.
Mac Jones.
No, not Mac Jones. Stop saying that. Stop saying that. That's going to trigger me, for real. Not Mac Jones, bro. Because then I would just know for a fact that this franchise is not serious about winning. They're not. And I'd rather just let Bryce sit back there before we go get Mac Jones. Might as well get your usage out of him. Shit, see if he can do something in year 3.
That's what we just said.
Well, I think it's a wrap. I think Bryce Young is fried. I wish him the best of luck. But even if it's not this year, if it's next year.
Do you absolutely think he's fried, though?
Yes.
Being that, why? Because I heard you slander Baker's name. I heard you slander Sam Darnold's name. And we all seen them went on to different teams to be very, very successful at this point in their career.
Hindsight is
So,
2020.
do you think that, okay, cool.
Baker was also a competent quarterback before he came to Carolina.
Bryce was a competent quarterback before he came to Carolina.
Different situation.
Bryce
Bryce was a competent college quarterback.
Sam
Baker had taken his team to the fucking playoffs. And both of those quarterbacks had to go to another team before they ended up in this situation. And they went to be backups. And they looked like ass when they got their opportunity. Baker had, a 2-week run where he had L.A. turned up, and then it was over with.
Well,
and then Dave Canales resurrected him.
On the outside looking in, it damn near looks like Carolina just fucking ruins quarterback. So, do you actually think it? Like, do you have a doubt in your mind that he could go to another team and be like? Is there a little smidget of hope that he could possibly be successful, being the recent years of how quarterbacks have left here and been successful?
Yes, and it's not just based on quarterbacks; it's based on everybody. I mean, all the talent that we've let walk, with the exception of Brian Burns and how he's looked this year, has gone on to thrive.
Because I'm not gonna
Jeremy Chin, DJ Moore, C-Mac, with the exception
not fair. Those are guys that thrived in Carolina as well.
I mean, okay, fair enough.
Because I will be honest and say that's the only thing that scares me a little bit.
Why?
Like,
but that's an ego thing.
Yeah, I know. And if you let me fucking finish, I was gonna get to that. Selfishly, that's the only thing that scares me. Is because I would be fucking blown if the nigga went to another team and just turned shit up. Okay, I would literally be blown as fuck.
Well, at some point or another, it's gonna have to happen. And I think that there's only a couple of situations that would be the case. Miami, San Francisco, which is completely out of the window. And that's damn near it. Literally. I mean, we can think about it. We can go division by division. NFC South, he goes nowhere and thrives. He goes nowhere and thrives in the NFC South based on what I've seen currently. Based on what I've seen up to this point, he goes nowhere and thrives. Nowhere. What else? NFC East? Nah, not quite. CD isn't enough. Terry McLaurin isn't enough.
Giants, damn sure ain't shit.
Maybe A.J. Brown and Devontae
He'd
Smith.
be all right in Philly.
And Dallas Goedert. Maybe he might be okay. So we'll add Philly to the list.
He'll be all right with the Jets.
Nah, I don't think so.
I think
their problems are a lot deeper than the quarterback position.
He'll be solid with the Lions. I think he can make shit work there because they have a heavy run game, so that could take a lot of pressure off of
line.
Yeah,
but also a couple of these names just aren't realistic situations.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, you threw out Eagles. I mean,
yeah, but I'm referring to them as well. That's not a realistic situation. Like they're not moving on from Hurts. So when we're talking about him going somewhere within the next 2 to 3 years, and this nigga turning into a Sam Darnold or a Baker Mayfield.
I think there's one team that he could absolutely go to.
Okay.
And sit, and then find success, and I think that's in Seattle. I think he can go to Seattle and sit behind Geno for another year or two, and then come out.
I don't hate that. Actually, that might be that's actually a really good. That's a really good name to throw out there. Actually, with DK, JSN, Lockett will probably be gone at that point, but you still got DK and JSN.
You'll still have Ken Walker,
Charbonnet, and Ken.
Decent offensive
O-line
line.
is just
it's decent.
It's sus.
It's decent.
It's sus.
It's better than what he played behind last year.
Yeah, but it's not better than what he will play behind this year, depending on what the severity of Ike Mekwanu's injury is too, because that's something else that we haven't touched on. But he went down yesterday. We've said this so many times, and it's just very, very frustrating to continue to come on this podcast and repeat the same things over and over, because I know that I get tired of saying them, and I'm sure I can only assume that y'all get tired of hearing them. But for the life of me, I don't understand how this athletic training department still has jobs, like, in totality. Like, whoever 11, 12 people on that roster or staff have jobs, I don't know how we haven't brought in a completely different staff yet. Like, because this shit is so tired, bro. It's so tired. Every single time we go live and do our game previews, whether it be Thursday or Friday night, we look at the injury reports and we look at the injury list, and our list compared to everybody over the last 5 weeks has just been drastically more. And it's really sick. It's really sick, and it's a problem, and I, for the life of me, don't understand why. So I say all of that to say Ike Mekwanu goes down. Brady, Austin is already hurt. Taylor Moton is dealing with this elbow shit. To be honest, if it's going to bother him that much, I'd just rather not even see him play. To be quite frank, just save him for next year and whoever we decide to roll. This team is shot, bro. This team is ass. It's shot.
Jonathan Brooks about to come back. Do you want to even see him play?
I about damn near don't even want to see him play.
Let him
no
sit
cap.
for a
Yeah,
year.
I'm not gonna hold you. I might let him sit. Let Chuba. Chuba's having a career year. He looked phenomenal. The past 2 weeks, I mean, it's been a little bit down. But when you set the bar as high as he has this season, with the amount of yards per carry, yards after contact, and all of that, it was bound to go down a little bit and kind of plateau at some point or another. He's still having a career year. Miles Sanders, I don't think there's any value for him on the trade market, so I don't know why you just don't keep him and then potentially cut him at the end of the year. But, yeah, I mean, what's the purpose? For him to come back with this shit-ass athletic training staff that I just spoke about, for him to get fucking popped the wrong way and them to try and fix it and say he has one thing and then rush him back again and for his career to be fucked off. No, to be quite frank,
I mean, that's just the extreme. That's just an extreme.
No, it's not. It's not. Because I don't. To be quite honest with you, I think he came back a little bit quicker than I would have liked anyway. I think his window was open a little too fast.
I don't think
Just
so.
wait till the fucking bye.
I mean, the nigga has been out for so fucking long, bro. That's why I didn't want That's why I didn't want him, bro. That's why I didn't want him.
Well, let me just ask you, what realistically, what difference would it have made if we would have went somewhere else?
I mean,
that
sounds good now.
Edge.
That sounds good now because we're fucking 1-7. But it would have made a big difference when we had the shit ass cornerback room, which to me they're still sorry. But I mean,
Mike had 10 tackles yesterday.
Wow.
Didn't you say that's a red flag?
Wow. Mike had 10 tackles. Wow.
I saw there was a Bradley Bozeman sighting just while we're on the topic of linemen.
Yeah, he's a bitch too.
Did you see what he did though?
Yeah,
what did he
he's
do?
soft because I saw Bryce get mobbed on like that last year.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
I saw Bryce get mobbed on like that, and that goes back to the whole leadership thing and why I have a problem with Bryce and y'all slander and slaughter me because it's a problem, bro. It's a problem. Bradley Bozeman will go down there and slide behind that bitch nigga Justin Herbert, right? But last year I seen Bryce get his dick put in the dirt multiple times and ain't nobody slide on shit. That's a problem. To me, there's a deeper
because
darker.
he's. Never mind.
Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's possible. But I just know that Brad won't go for that shit. You foolish as hell.
He gonna slide behind his brother.
Maybe, but yes, I did see that as well. You didn't see it, I'm assuming.
Nah, I didn't see it.
Damn, D lineman, D lineman
got
gets
rolled up on.
D lineman grabbed him.
Trying to snap.
About to say he tried to snap his shit. That nigga Bradley speared his ass helmet through chest and started fucking mobbing him on his fucking ground. Yeah, it was real bad. I'm not gonna.
And they were
hold
like, "Oh, it's Bradley Bozeman." I said, who? That's who?
you. Yeah, it gets like that. That's nasty.
DJ Wano comes back.
Who gives a fuck?
Round of
He
applause.
should have
Hit
stayed.
it.
He should have stayed. He should have stayed where he was at too.
The reason I said that is because my boy texted me and said something about him.
Oh, okay. The boy that I know.
Yeah. He was like, DJ, he coming back. I ain't even text him back.
Yeah, I mean, with all due respect, if you watch the show, we don't give a fuck.
Well, I told him, I was like, I'll stay far away from that conversation for the sake that that's your boy.
I mean, okay, yeah. So we're
Cool.
cool. So that's his boy. I'm gonna chill on him because I had a message, but I'm gonna chill. Why not just retire? Like at this point, what's the purpose?
I mean, his career is not really over. He had one bad injury.
Well, okay, cool. If he comes back and he don't show me shit, then I'm gonna say ship him too. I'm in a sell mood. Everybody that just honestly, there's just no cornerstones to this franchise.
Well, how are you feeling about Diontae Johnson getting traded? Because I know that was your buddy.
Yeah, well, let's go to it because that was one of the other topics that I had. Per Adam Schefter, as well as other multiple NFL sources, Diontae Johnson is expected to be traded by next week. I mean, get what you can for him. That is my that's my stance. I already told y'all how I've been telling y'all how I felt the last 3 months in a row. Maybe even 4, maybe even 5. Maybe since May, since we got him. I've been telling y'all.
No, the fuck you that.
I haven't been saying that.
Not since May, bro.
Not since May. I don't even know.
Right?
That was cap. I don't even know when we got him. So I'll just say that. It wasn't during May. It wasn't during May. I'll say that.
wasn't.
It wasn't during May. I gassed it. You're right. I gassed it. But I will say, I mean, since the summer, I have been saying that the Carolina Panthers should have attempted to sign Diontae Johnson to a long-term deal. I got slandered and called everything but a son of God on this podcast from the two people on this set besides myself. Y'all killed me in the comments on X, Instagram, and YouTube. You know, I got shit on pretty much for the duration of the summer as the conversation continued to show itself. But it turns out that would have been the best thing to do. Go ahead and sign him. So when you do draft another quarterback next year or whenever you decide to do it or you bring in a veteran quarterback, they at least have a surefire wide receiver 1.
All for what?
What do you mean all for what?
Surefire for what?
I mean, if you would have signed him, you would have signed him to a 3 or 4 year deal. So it may not have been year 1 and it may not have been year 2, but year 3 or 4, when our defense is back right and our offensive line is still intact and we have a quarterback that we trust to lead us through the fucking gates of hell and we feel like we can make a playoff run, you have a guy that you can run your offense through. Are you forgetting that during the offseason, this nigga Dave Canales told us and bro, Brad told us that every single play that we ran, the first option, we're looking at Diontae Johnson. Do you forget that?
No.
I see a lot of fans forgetting that for whatever reason. So this offense is going to look significantly different toward the end of this season as well. It is. I mean, so you're going to be relying on a lot of young guys to step up, but how do I feel about it? I mean, I'm kind of like if you would have listened to JJ from the beginning, you wouldn't have been in this position. It's the same way y'all feel about Jonathan Brooks being drafted in the second round. Same way y'all feel about that is the same way I feel about Diontae Johnson. Dumbass niggas didn't listen, so now you got to eat it. That's how I feel.
And what did you just tell us? What fucking difference would it make?
I mean, it would have. I already told you what difference it would have made.
Yeah,
I think it's dumb because now you traded away Diontae Jackson, who has been absolutely balling. Now I understand we were gonna cut him. Now I understand we've had a lot of conversations about Diontae Jackson, and fans feel however they feel about him.
He's a bitch.
Traded away. Okay, that's fair. If that's how you feel, then cool. I respect it. But you trade away Diontae Jackson, and you go get an actual wide receiver 1 for him to play 10 games, or shit, what are we, 1-7 for him to play 7 games, and that's it. That's going to be the end of it. So what was the purpose?
Shit, even if you would have paid him the money, he might have still been wanting to crawl out the door after these games.
But and see, that's when you get into the conversation. That's when you get into the conversation about would you prefer to have volunteers or hostages? And for me personally, if you're a hostage, I couldn't give a fuck. You roll out there and you go play.
Yeah, I would prefer to have an injury. I just don't know what's wrong with me.
Oh, okay.
Training staff can't find shit. We need to go see these specialists.
And you know
I done had a hamstring injury for 10 games. I don't know what the hell is going on.
And that's fine. And that's
Still not good to go today.
Same shit what CMC did.
And that would be A-okay. And every time I get that report back, I will ask for a detailed report on what's going on with the nigga. And to be quite frank, if I deem it personally that he's on fuck shit, then we're just going to fine him. For dumb shit.
You gonna find him for being injured?
10,
I'm sure there's something in the CBA that won't allow that.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So
Well, I'm just telling you, two could play that game.
I'm not under the belief he wouldn't have pulled some shit like that.
But this is the thing.
Because just what Devontae
Adams
Adams said, I got to get out of here before they fucking kill me. He would have been the same.
But you want me to
exact
tell
way.
you what I know? Diontae wouldn't have done that. And you want me to tell you how I know that? It's because I saw the exact same situation play out in Pittsburgh. And he never missed fucking an extended amount of time like that. Ever. So that's how I know we would
Maybe
be
he
straight.
smartened up this time.
Maybe. But no, because the nigga was ready to play. That's why I believe this was a front office decision for him not to play on Sunday. Because they asked him on Wednesday or Thursday how he was feeling. And he said, I'll be quite frank. I'll be quite honest. This shit, to be quite frank, is not enough for me not to play on Sunday. And then the report comes out that he's not playing. So this is just protecting your investment because we know we're about to move him. But if we really was in a playoff picture or whatever the case may be, and we needed Diontae Johnson to play against the Denver Broncos, he would have played.
Because was it not 2 separate injuries?
I thought it was his chest and his calf or something like that. Yeah,
because at first it was like a lower extremity, and then it ended up he sat out because of his ribs. Right. So I kind of already knew from that point on it was
bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, but if you're in, the situation is a bit different.
And they weren't even on the same page with him because if I'm telling you, nigga, you're not going to play because we're looking to move on from you, don't go in a fucking press conference and say, yeah, I'm good to play. Fall in line.
Yeah, don't do too much.
Yeah.
It's the same thing like when he went in the press conference at the beginning of the season and was like, yeah, they gonna run everything through me.
See,
like,
he got a fucking problem. Yeah, get him out, bro. Get him out. He don't comprehend. He don't comprehend well, bro.
You're just a hater, bro.
He be too much off page. Like,
you're just a hater. You've been wanting them gone anyway. So this is not surprising to me because you've been wanting them gone. So cool. Now you're stuck with fucking Jalen Coker and Xavier Legette.
Jalen Coker, my MVP.
He is a dog, ain't it?
I mean, is he? From what you were saying at the beginning of the season.
I told you that he was raw as hell at the beginning of the season.
I don't know why all these niggas want Jalen Coker.
Yeah, because it was a field goal story, and they were telling me that they wanted Jalen Coker over TMJ. And I mean, cool. If we want to talk about hindsight, then yeah, maybe that worked out. But in that same breath, like, I'm not tweaking out over Jalen Coker because he even went to the practice squad. So it's not like he was just automatically put on the 53. It took a little bit of time to get there, but he's just making the most out of his opportunity. But I mean, on Move the Chains, I was telling niggas that he wins every route. I've been saying that for the whole summer. He was getting minimal opportunities at training camp, but he was winning every single route, and he made a couple of pop plays. But the narrative was just being gassed up because he was from Holy Cross and this and that. So, yeah, I mean, cool. I'm happy for him. Good. Continue to cook. That'll be another what you call that Steve Smith was right about. Go. One of y'all.
Let me get mine pulled up real quick. I just had it. All right, so this is plus 11-18. I got the Texans beating the Jets. The Jets are just ass, in my opinion. I got the Carolina Panthers covering plus 14.5 at home.
Good luck.
I got the Buffalo Bills beating Miami in Buffalo. I got Dallas beating Atlanta in Atlanta. I got Washington beating the Giants in New York. Lock.
Can we get odds? Can we get, like, what can we get?
I mean, I already said it's plus 11-18.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, that ticket's clipped.
Dallas and
Put that
Atlanta?
out there. Yeah. All right. I got y'all with the plus.
What was your lock? My bad, not to cut you off, Tavian. What was your lock?
My lock is probably going to be Carolina covering 14.5.
Okay. I'll go with Dylan's. Real quick, Tavian, while you get that right. Dylan's 6 leg is plus 32.87. Texans money line, Panthers money line, Ravens money line, Bills money line, Commanders money line, Chicago money line. Plus 32.87, and he said that his lock is the Bills.
I guarantee you if he took the Panthers off, that ticket drops from plus 32.87 to plus 450.
Probably, because they are plus 250. Carolina Panthers open up at plus 250 against the Saints. To be honest, I may consider doing something on that game.
Covering the spread of plus 14.5.
Nah, money line. The Saints, they showed us who they really are.
Like we tried to tell you.
Yeah, like y'all tried to tell me, yeah. And I tried to come on here and crown them bitches.
Disgusting work.
Well, what do you want me to say? I was wrong.
I got y'all with the winner right here, man. Plus 832, where I won't be wrong. Not on a single leg. No siree. Got a 6-legger for y'all. We are going with the Houston Texans money line against the New York Jets. If you have the Jets on your ticket still 7-8 weeks into the season and you haven't learned your lesson by now, the Jets don't fucking win. They're never going to fucking win. Don't put them on your ticket. Houston Texans money line versus the Jets. Baltimore Ravens money line versus the Broncos. Washington Commanders money line versus the Giants. Eagles money line versus the Jags. Chiefs money line versus the Buccaneers, and the Detroit Lions money line versus the Green Bay Packers. What, is there a problem?
He got too much shit going on.
How? Or no, all of those games are completely winnable by the teams that I got. The Jaguars aren't beating anybody, so we're taking Philly with them. The Buccaneers aren't beating the Chiefs. I'm sorry, not without Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Detroit Lions.
The Jaguars, did they not win this week? Or I'm tripping? Oh, no, they got walked down on. My bad. Go ahead. Sorry. They had that shit won, though. I will say that, but go ahead.
I'd say that really the only game on here that I have a question about would be Detroit at Green Bay, and that's because it's a nice little division rivalry, and Green Bay isn't no, like, pussies. But the way I done seen Detroit walk down the last two teams they played, I mean, they hung up 50 on the Titans.
On the Cowboys? Oh, I mean,
Yeah, the Titans. They bout hung up 50 on the Cowboys too.
Type shit.
So I mean, shit happens. Cowboys ain't worth a fuck. Shout out to you, Mike and Dak and Jerry and Kevontae Turpin. Shout out
How the
y'all.
fuck does he get? How does he catch a
Yeah,
strike?
that was weird.
Oh, you didn't see it?
Oh yeah,
When he
did.
dropped that shit on the sideline?
Yeah, he got hit in his face
Game
mask.
winner. Yeah, that hit him in the fucking.
No, it wasn't a game winner.
on the game
Don't say
winning
it was.
drive.
Say that it wasn't a game
On
winner.
like third or fourth down. Yeah, dropped it, nutted on himself, piss running down his leg. Dak hit him in the fucking mouth with the ball. After throwing it into triple coverage, and fortunate that Fred Warner didn't catch it.
Yeah, very true.
So
All of those things are very true. Plus 13-14 for me. Give me Ravens to cover 9.5 against the Denver Broncos. I think the Broncos are sweet as hell, and I think that with Lamar and them losing against Cleveland this past week, they're going to try and make a statement. I will take Cleveland with Jameis at the helm against the LA Chargers. That's plus money. So give me Browns money line. I like Atlanta covering minus 2.5 against Dallas. And I like Tampa Bay covering 9.5 against the Chiefs. I do. Very, very simple. 4 legs, 13-14. Get paid if you want to get paid. If you don't, then that's cool with me. I don't care. Lock it in plus 13-14. That's going to be my first win of the year. This past week, I think I went 0 for 4 or 0 for 5. It was bad. It was bad news. I'm not going to
I'm ready to see what my tickets look like tonight.
I don't know. I mean, we're almost a quarter in the game. I just think it's very, very simple and easy for quarterbacks to throw for 10 yards apiece.
I didn't put that on there. I forgot to put that on there. It wouldn't let me combine it. So I'll tell you if one of your tickets are looking good.
You couldn't have combined it anyway. It was a special.
So you telling me Chris Paul has 0 assists in the second quarter? Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah, it's a good thing I didn't take that. Let's see. Okay, Daniel Jones has 71 passing yards in the first quarter, and Russell Wilson has 54. Cool. We survive and advance. One quarter apiece. Tyrone. Hey, Tyrone is a demon. I'm not going to hold y'all. Tyrone Tracy, if y'all ain't familiar with his game.
Aaron Judge better get a hit.
Why are you threatening me? I mean, I pray to God he gets a hit just like you do. What you mad at me for? I'm
put
not
him on the
taking
ticket.
at-bats. We're losing 2-0 already.
Yep.
the Dodgers. Gotta love it, man.
Fucking bitch-ass Freddie Freeman, bro. This bitch. Let me just chill, bro. All right, hurry up and wrap this shit up, because I need to see what's going on. I think I have one more topic to cover. Oh, the Sean Payton. Like, do you have a problem with them trying to run the score up, and kind of what are your feelings about the JC thing?
I don't know what y'all are referring to with the JC thing.
After the game, he pressed Sean Payton. Long story short, got to chatting to that nigga. Pretty much told him he was a bitch because he tried to run the score up.
I mean, my coach always told me you beat a bad team bad. I mean, I guess that's an unspoken rule in the NFL. But, I mean, when you think about it, Sean Payton has always been one of those type coaches. He also coached the Saints in the NFC South. He probably hates the Panthers. I get it. I mean, we just suck, so it's easy to pick on us. I don't think he said anything wrong when he was like, I mean, that's just not a good team on the offensive side of the ball. I did see him say that. And so he didn't tell any lies. I mean, we suck. I don't understand why we're so mad. I don't get it. I understand JC wanting to crash out because maybe that is an unspoken rule in the NFL. But, I mean, damn, Miami put up 70 on whoever that was last year.
Denver.
And everybody was laughing about that.
Yeah,
that was the
but
laughing stock of the NFL.
The Denver Broncos was running fake field goals and shit.
Well,
and going for it on fourth down still. And see that, me personally, if I was on the field, that'll make me want to harm somebody. Like legitimately. Because I'm trying to spear niggas with my helmet now, and I'm trying to kill them. So it's just best if you just don't try and do that.
And that all brings everything back full circle. Somebody dropped 70 on him last year. He used to coach the Panthers. He hates the NFC South. We're bad football. The Saints.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Hates the NFC South. We're a bad football team, easy to pick on. It is what it is. Be better. Be better. I still don't like the guy, but I can't blame him.
Okay. Well, I already shared my thoughts early during my intro. I think Sean Payton is a bitch. I think he's a mark-ass bitch at that. To be honest, if I ever see him personally, I'm probably going to slap him. Same thing still applies to Matt Rule. It's still always up for them two niggas in particular.
What did Matt Rule do to you?
He's a bitch. Just go back and watch before you were on the podcast and just look at how my eyes look and the depression and the mental health crisis he almost sent me through. That's what you need to do. And then you'll see what he did to me. And then he wants to get on the podium quoting Biggie lyrics and shit. Fucking cocking me. Do you have a comment regarding the Jaycee Horn and Sean Payton debacle at all?
Yeah,
I liked it.
I like what Sean Payton said. I think it's valid. I think if it was any other team,
nigga,
it would be a very.
I'm talking about y'all keep talking about what Sean Payton is saying. I'm talking about JC pressing him after the game. How did y'all feel about that?
I don't like that. I think that shit is soft. Handle your business on the fucking field. Don't get mad because the niggas running the score up. Fucking stop somebody. Get mad at your boy who let that shit go. Get mad at your safety who let the ball go over his head. Get mad at your D-line who can't get through the fucking line of scrimmage. There's a lot of other niggas that you should be getting mad at and not fucking Sean Payton who ain't doing shit but saying Delta wing 9 right, up in somebody's fucking ear.
That's a weak-ass play call.
I don't know.
Nah,
but you feel me? Like he's just, why are you mad at the nigga calling the plays? Get mad at, your boys and your
That's
side
the same thing with JJ.
What?
Mad at Sean Payton.
I'll kill Sean Payton. Personally. But I'm not going to hold
We're going to bleep that out.
No, we're not. I'm not bleeping shit out. We don't bleep nothing else out. Refer to the tag in the beginning of the podcast. But no, I think that was whole shit. Like, I understand. Like I said, I understand y'all's position. I said that at the beginning of the podcast, but I still don't respect it. And you still a bitch to me. So, like, if I want to press you, I'm going to press you. Simple.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that shit's soft. And I said the same thing about Trayvon Diggs, who had a little episode after our game as well. Yeah, slightly different circumstance.
Shit is soft to me, bro.
That shit is pussy. Like, don't press the nigga who was beating you.
Don't go for it on fourth down, bro, in the fourth quarter when you're already up multiple scores. That's disrespectful. Like, that's weird shit. Like, that's weird shit. And to be honest, like, the only thing that I fought and knocked JC for is the fact that he didn't try intentionally injure a nigga and harm a nigga.
So
that's what I blame JC for.
So the 2015 Panthers ain't run the score up on nobody?
No, they didn't. The
Okay.
only thing we did that shit one time against Arizona in the playoffs, in the damn NFC Championship, and really then we wasn't really running it up. We never went for it on fourth down when we were up fucking 3 possessions. We never did any of that shit. They just simply couldn't stop us. We were running dumbass triple option plays, the most basic of schemes in the fucking NFL, and they couldn't stop us from doing what we wanted to do.
Well, I have some different memories from that season. But
so tell me about your memories.
And let me just tell you how they're wrong. Sure it got ran up.
No, it didn't get ran up.
Don't step in now.
It didn't get ran up in the dollar. Y'all kept giving the ball.
Like, literally, y'all threw like
fuck
2
you
pick
think we
sixes.
just gonna slide in the fourth quarter?
Y'all threw how many?
Like 2 pick sixes. How the fuck is
y'all
that?
threw 2 picks yesterday. You feel me? He ain't run the score.
I mean, what are we?
He only scored 28. He only scored 28 points, bro. He ain't run that shit up. He ain't run that shit up crazy.
Yeah, see, and a nigga like that, see, he's the type that would tell his team to run it up, and I'm the type to tell my team if they try and run it up, late hits after the whistle on the fucking bottom of the pile, we're fucking elbowing them niggas in their throat. Like, yeah, it's that type energy, bro. Be respectful, bro. Be respectful. Be respectful.
Right. Tell my
niggas
team to
going,
go ahead
niggas
and
going
put your foot
down.
through their fucking throat.
Okay, cool.
Don't put it on it. Put it through it.
Niggas
make sure these niggas never want to suit up and play us again. That's what I'm telling my team.
That's weird as hell.
Yeah, take their fucking heart.
Cool. What? That's it for me. That shit would never go with me, bro. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Because I led the conference in 15-yard penalties, like on some basic shit. Like just being a crash out in general. Yeah. If a team ever tried that shit on me, I'm telling you, bro. I would be suspended. My coach would have had to go take the class, all of that shit.
That's cute.
It's find me in the NFL, all of that. And I would have slapped the shit out of Sean Payton. Because, nigga, I already said what I had to say to you. Don't keep walking up to me. Talk to my coach and shake his hand. Because he cool with that shit. He go on the press conference and get the sucking dick. That's another thing before we exit. Matter of fact, never mind.
Because I led my conference in ejections. So
yeah, nigga.
So my niggas would have been letting their fucking nuts hang
on the basketball court. We talking about something completely different.
A crash out's a crash out.
That football field, nigga, you might not would have been as motivated to be a crash out on the football field.
I think I would have been a little bit more motivated, but that's neither here nor there.
Okay. I don't want to play that song because it might get blocked. I don't have time to deal with that tonight. Why are the Yankees losing already, bro? Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to go enter the ticket giveaway for the game on Sunday against the New Orleans Saints. Winner will be notified by Thursday. The winner will be notified by Thursday, so you will have time to make any travel arrangements, do any of the stuff that you need to do, in preparation for that. Again, go enter. You had the opportunity to do so right now for another 24 hours or so. And we will be back live this week. We're going to be going live on Thursday, so make sure to tune in then. And until then, we will talk to you guys next week. Thanks so much for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, bell notification.
We getting closer, baby.